Estoril Blue parts, baby.
Uh-oh. The people have spoken, and today we're gonna get this Estoril Blue E36 M3 coupe back to its former glory. We are gonna fix this with no special tools, nothing but a tree, a winch, and some hand tools. If you're new here, you may have never seen me do this before. If you're a veteran of the channel, I've saved a few E34s like this. If you see this backdrop, you know that you guys are next to the tree, and we are gonna start doing some straightening with a tree. So again, if you're new here, disclaimer, what I'm about to do is not professional, not necessarily the safest way to do this, and it's not the right way to do this. What we are gonna be doing is the backyard method of repairing a crashed car, giving a new lease on life to this E36 M3. I've had good results before. With every new car, you never know what's gonna lie under the damage, so we don't know if it's gonna be able to come back 100% or what, but we're gonna try. I think we can get this thing back. So as a reminder of the damage, this is what we're working with. So this car suffered a front end collision, pretty bad as you can see. The hood's destroyed, passenger fender's destroyed, bumper's destroyed, obviously the front grille, core support. If we get in here, here is the extent of the damage. So the strut tower is pushed in, but not the actual strut tower, basically just the wheel well, I guess, if you will. Now, as many pointed out, that is what a factory strut tower should look like. You can see here the seam sealer, this is the tower, that's the finish. This car, as you can see over here, no seam sealer. We have these spot welds right here, and we have a clear coated finish. This car had an accident reported on the title, or on the Carfax, when it was nearly a brand new car. I think this car has had basically a rebuilt title since like the first few years it was made. It's a 98, I believe. So you can see here, this strut tower has been replaced and repainted, which is gonna make this interesting because we're fixing an already messed up car, and that always makes things more difficult. The frame rail is actually pretty much unscathed. The car that hit this was obviously taller than this crash bar, so all the damage basically got shifted right into the core support and into the fender. But the structuralness of the car, meaning the frame rail and likely the strut tower, seem to be saved. And it might only be because this was repaired before, because you can see right here, this is the start of the strut tower. It got crunched all the way up until that, and that seems to have been saved. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys actually the setup on this. So we got a big ratchet strap, and we have this thingy, which is, I guess if you want to call it by its real name, a Mazdam power pull. Basically like a come along. So what this is a ratcheting winch, basically, for like, you know, I don't know, towing things, pulling things, whatever. This has straightened quite a few E34 front ends, and I've had good results with it. Before we even remove all the panels, we need to kind of uncrunch this because we can't even get to some of the hardware. So I'm gonna loop my one strap through this core support and just yank and see if we can get some sort of straightness out of this to where we can at least access fasteners again and stuff like that. Need a big old tree. So these are my favorite videos to make because I absolutely love the backyard method of just fixing cars. No high stakes, no stress, just fun, really just fun. Showing you guys that you don't need special tools, just having fun with it. And Estoril Blue, I kind of mentioned this story, but I don't know if I really got into detail. When I was in high school, I would always skateboard past right in my local area here, an Estoril sedan, and the guy worked at the local like hot dog shop, and I would pass it every day. Freshman year of high school, I would skateboard, and I just loved it. That's kind of where my E36 love really started, like 8th grade, high school. Kind of like one of my first BMW dream cars, to be honest. Okay, we're set up. Safety glasses are very important here. You don't want shrapnel flying at you. All right, let's see if we can uncrunch her a little bit. Yeah, it's actually kind of coming out decent. We split the core support in half, but that did kind of, that did help us a little bit. Okay, this needs to get out of the way. This is useless here. Broken headlight. Yeah, the headlight's just in a million pieces. That helped us get the core support off the radiator at least, so now we can kind of move through some things here. I kind of want to get this a little more uncrunched. Ouch, I wish I would have opened the hood all the way. Oh yeah. Now we're just gonna start pulling stuff off. Woo! Okay. Nothing to hit our heads on now. Crunched, but it's coming out. Luckily this isn't a rusty Midwest car. Goodbye, fender. And now we get the fun part. So here is the core of our damage. This is our fender wing right here. This is basically the inner wheel well. This is our fender liner that's obviously pushed into the wheel. I forgot to grab the strut brace. We'll do that right now before we go any further. But being an E36, this is like, it's like glass. So I could just bend this back damn near by hand, but it did shear right here. This is supposed to be connected. So I do have a new rail, but cutting and welding, not really fun, and it's not something I can do. So I need to see how good I can get this. You know, this being separated, what does it matter? You know, we're not going for factory here, but you know, having this piece, it's like you feel like I should use it, but we'll ultimately have to see how good we can get the other part. We got the Destined strut bar off the white car. So let's see. We are lined up. I mean, yeah, pretty damn good. So I don't think, I mean, this is a super non-precise way to measure this because the strut bar itself has movement in it. But you can kind of guess that if things line up, you're doing pretty good. All right, now that we've completed our completely scientific test of if the frame is bent on this car, that I'm sure no one will judge me for in the comments, we could carry on. Ultimately, the final factor with this will be, when it's all back together, throw it on an alignment rack and see where we're at. If it's unalignable, then you know, hey, you know, we suffered damages that are beyond our repair, but I don't even think we'll have an issue with that. Got an under tray here. I mean, shit, this bumper shock doesn't even need to be replaced. So whatever happened to this car right above the bumper shock, which saved the frame rail and ultimately saved the car, the AC condenser is almost damn near still good, but it did get nicked. We do have to take these off though to get the core support off. This is not savable. Barely access some of these bolts through the carnage. We've almost done everything so far without a big hammer, which is impressive. Survivor. I mean, it's a crappy plastic, but still cool. More junk to the pile. To the pile. I'd be amazed if this AC didn't leak out from that condenser, but no, it didn't. Wow. So this is still a charged AC system, and this condenser did not rupture. The next challenge is this core support gonna come off? Oh yeah, it is. Oh yeah, this core support bent down this inner wing a little bit on this side. Not much though. Not enough to actually cause us problems, I don't think. Oh, they got a few welds on this. Yikes. There we go. Mangled core support to the pile. This radiator might have survived. I think it did. So yeah, the radiator is mostly good, but that's kind of unacceptable. So obviously it holds coolant, but if I have a spare, we might as well use it. Now here we can get a better view of our dumber than hell shroud coolant hose combo. And here's a better look at the frame rail. As I was mentioning, completely straight. The top half of the end lip here is a little folded back. That could be hammered, but again, that doesn't really matter. That is not a dent. That is actually the factory frame rail, kind of just geometry. This upper fin is a little bent that way. Again, hammer will straighten that out. But none of this is integral like the actual arm. Like if the arm was kinked, you're screwed. But this is a totally solid, untouched frame rail. All of our damage is localized right into here, the front arch. This is basically a tin metal part. It's not really structural. It's not really important, if you will. Basically, it guides your fender. Now, with my turbo car and other E34s that I fixed like this, if you get this straight enough to where the fender can lay on it, you usually won't have any problems. Now, the core support does bolt to it as well, but and one bolt in the fender, but otherwise the fender bolts kind of don't do anything right here. There's no bolts. And then there's one at the end there. This has to get unbent, this has to be pulled out, and this has to be uncrunched. What we're gonna do here is start to pull. And the method I'm gonna use with this isn't quite like an E34, there isn't things to hook onto. So we got the drill, we got a chain. We're gonna drill through this. I know it seems stupid, but a drill hole is better than this. And if we mess this up, we can cut and we can weld in our new piece. But I want to avoid any welding here. I want to show you guys you can do this without welding. So the only thing to grip onto is going to be to make our own mount point here. So we're going to drill through probably about right here. We're going to hook a bolt with a chain, and then we're going to start yanking. Here would be a good spot. We can get to it from the back. Stack some washers on this so that we obviously don't blow through the fender. Got a big washer on there. In from the back. Hook the chain. You'll loop the chain because we're gonna hook into it with the tag or the come along. And now what we have here, mounting point to pull from. And this should work half decent. We're gonna get this hot. Not necessarily because we care about the paint cracking because it's already cracked, but heat will help us to make it more malleable. So we got a big ridge here, big ridge here. We're gonna be kind of hammering down on that ridge as we pull because the ridge is kind of where all the stress is at. Now I'm gonna throw a helmet on because if a bolt flies out, that is a dangerous projectile. Oh yeah, you could see it. Starting to come out, but we gotta actually go lower here because the ridge is kind of kinked in this way. So we pulled it pretty solid up here, but we need to get this. It's starting to come, you can see here. We flattened out the ridge right here, but down here is where it's bad, and that's gonna have to be pulled from, I think, right about here. Okay, hooking it up. More heat, helmet on. This big kink is what needs to come out. This one almost completely out, but this big kink is the hard one. You can see, as I said, the tray itself is going to start to follow. When you get the big kinks, the little ones kind of follow suit. So yeah, check it out. The big ripple is leveled out. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect here. This tray is starting to come back to life. This was all crinkled, and now it's actually starting to fill in the area that it once was. So I think right through here, probably going to shred it a little bit. Okay. Jack right here on the tire. This is pretty ridiculous, but if executed properly, could work. This is pretty bad right here, but again, like I said, possible for it to not matter. But now we gotta bend out this piece. I think I'm gonna grab the fender and the core support and do the rest of it with those mocked up, because I think that'll help us kind of know where we need to get this thing. All right, let's just check out an initial mock-up here. Okay, we're a little in. If we can get this to bolt up, that is a big deal. We got it. I got the fender kind of mocked up with the core support, and it's clear to me that we actually have to pull a little more out. You could see it's a little too in right there. So this car, being a car that's already been crashed before and all repaired, it's hard to know what is right. So you could see these kind of line up a little bit left, but I think we'll be able to get this pretty much where we want it. Hey, she ain't the prettiest. That is definitely not pretty. But if we can get that front point to line up, those to line up, it doesn't matter. It's gonna work. With the wheel off, we're doing a little massaging from the back. What is it? Well, I'm pretty happy with that. Yes, it's ugly, but it works. Our new crossbar, even though these survived, you might as well use the uncrashed ones just in case, you never know. Now I guess I gotta get the fan kind of in at the same time.
Hey, what's happening, brother?
What's up? I'm excited to see you because you have a car, but now you got some panels. Oh, how's it going, man?
Good, how you doing?
Oh yeah, you got them.
Yeah,
you got them
one
Tetrised in.
Yeah.
That's the fender.
Yeah, this is the fender.
Okay. Vasily is an absolute legend. You guys may know him from all the cars of mine he delivers. Oh, and look, he even wrapped them up for me. What a guy.
Want it inside?
I'll bring this inside. Oh man, you even got my bag of goodies. Whew, Estoril Blue parts, baby. Thank God.
Okay, if you want to take over right
Yep.
here, Joe.
Thank you, Victor.
All right.
Okay. Everything fit nicely?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Oh man, you're prepared.
I got every corner, man, falling down.
You're the man, dude. You are the
All
man.
right, yes, sir.
Okay, I'll take this. Oh yeah.
Okay, let's walk in the shop.
Yep. And with that, I welcome you guys to phase 2 of this Estoril repair. So, we just got all the body panels delivered from Vasily. I cannot thank him enough. You guys may have seen him in a few of my prior videos. He's my driver that basically brings me all my cars. So I've been working with him for a few years now. Absolutely awesome guy. And he always said, hey, if you ever need parts or whatever shipped, let me know and I'll squeeze them in the truck. Well, it just so happens, and shout out to Artem, that he reached out to me on Instagram with a Estoril Blue convertible part out. And, you know, because I was making want to buy posts for body panels. And he said, yeah, I got a fresh car. You know, take your pick, what do you want? And I was like, oh my God, perfect. So he had the whole front end for me, but it was in Washington. Well, Vasily drives east to west, so he's in Washington all the time. And with some careful coordination, I was able to buy all these parts from Artem, and then Vasily dropped them off to me, and that's what we were, filming last night. And now we have a complete Estoril front end. So we have the hood, the fender, nose piece, and the bumper. I opted not to buy the core support because this one's already bolted up and you don't see it, whatever, black core support. If it was like yellow, then yeah, but I think black is a nice base to where it doesn't really matter. This car itself has been repainted, so these panels probably aren't gonna match like perfect. I mean, Estoril is Estoril. It's better than like black body panels. I know like this nose piece has been repainted and the shade's even different than the bumper. It's gonna be far from a perfect car, but it's gonna be a car again, and it's gonna be all. I thought the wheels from this car were saved because if you look at the outside, this DS2 looks totally fine, except for the tire. But if we flip it over, that wheel certainly did not survive. So I guess, I don't know how or what part of the impact did this, but basically destroyed this DS2. So that's junk. But again, shout out to more of the local homies. Matt Forseth over at Retro Motorsport USA got me a single front DS2. So now I have, because the other side wheel survived, so I only needed one. He had one for me, pretty clean wheel. Tire needs to be replaced, but I'm gonna replace the tires on this car anyway. No damage on the back, so we are gonna be back in order. Okay, so let's start by fitting this fender. Blue fender's so nice to see. See what this paint match looks like. It's pretty bad, but it's not. It's about as bad as my Calypso. Yeah, when they repainted it, they way too dark, like way too blue. I think Estoril has a lot more teal in it. I mean, it's pretty bad, but I mean, it's the options we have, right? Okay, that alignment's pretty good. Yeah, I'm actually very happy with this door. Okay, so that lines up very nice. That lines up very nice. This car already had a little bit of butchery going on. The bumper bracket here, instead of it being the plastic brackets like it's supposed to be, it's a piece of metal that was shaped on. I'm not sure who the hell or what the hell's going on with that. Here's the factory bracket. Oh, yep, good, got it. All right. Actually, you helped me put the hood on my Blue E34 too. You've done a few hood installations with me. Oh, watch the window. Okay. Damn, this actually lined up pretty decent. You got it? Yeah, I got it. All right, just hold on to that. Tell you already, we are way to the left. Clearing the fender? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we gotta go way to the right. Paint match is pretty atrocious, as I figured. I mean, not bad. It's not bad for the first attempt.
I was gonna say, it didn't hit anything.
Yeah, it didn't hit anything. That's a good sign. Okay, so if I... Moment of truth. Pretty even.
Oh, actually, that got significantly better.
It's even.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a wide gap, but it's even. I think, should we try to latch it? It seems like this is a little in.
Yeah.
So is the hood forward, you think? A little bit. Ooh, not really on this side though. Yeah. Moment of truth, this is exciting. That's pretty E36. That's actually not bad. I think it should go back a little. Oh yeah, it should go back. Oh, yeah. I don't know, I mean, hey, this is better than nothing, right? I never claimed to be a professional. Uh-oh. Only one side. Pull it a little more. Oh no. What the hell? Why only one? Oh, actually, you know what's funny? It is too far forward in the hinge.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, so that's probably, yeah, the hood adjustment's exactly what, I didn't really think of the consequences of
section.
Like closing the hood all the way, yeah. Okay, so what you guys just witnessed in that time lapse, which was maybe only 30 minutes out of probably the 3 hours that I spent messing with this hood. Basically, we are working the hood alignment, kind of doing the final massaging of the car because it's not easy. And a lot of people were responding to my DMs on Instagram telling me, oh, the E36 hood is a pain in the ass to align. And they were right. And what makes it even harder is that this is a car that's been totaled multiple times. I don't think I told you guys the story, but basically this car was wrecked in like 2003 when it was like a new car. And this whole strut tower was replaced. There's repair work all along the chassis over here. So this car was like, even before this accident that I just fixed, it was already problematic. So to get something that's been crashed multiple times and get it to line up perfect, not an easy feat. But basically to align the hood on the E36, you got your two hinges at the base, you got your hinges on the hood, you have these things right here that you can thread up and down for the kind of the height in the front. We had to kind of massage this core support this way a little bit because this gap was tight. This gap was big, and during the accident or sometime in the past, this arm got a little shoved outward, so this gap was huge. We got that arm pulled in. I had to remove this whole fender, hammer it a little bit. I didn't film all that because it was a lot of kind of running around, and I had Eustace here helping me, Danny was helping me, so shout out to them for kind of helping me get this thing back together. We were working on getting the alignment of the hood to this better. This side's good, this side is just struggling. You know, I don't know, we got parts from 3 different cars. We have a totaled car, we have a parts car, and then we have a different parts car. So it's hard to tell or know what is at all good or bad on this. So we tried our best, and I mean, ultimately, that's a problem. But aside from the kidney grill, we were actually able to get this hood alignment pretty damn good. It's a little overlapped on this part right here, which is whatever. It's pretty good right here. The gap in this corner is perfect. The gaps at the top are perfect. Right here, we're a little low on the hood side, which I think just comes down to the fender is a little too high. So we kind of been beating on it, massaging it, and it's decent, but I think it's about as good as it's gonna get. So that's our hood alignment. I can't say I'm pretty happy with it. The paint match is a different story. Very unhappy about the paint match. This car's been repainted. The body panels from the donor car were repainted. This car was clearly not repainted the proper shade of Estoril. That is way too dark. I think these are way more correct. So unfortunately, yeah, everything's different colors. It's 50 shades of blue, but it is what it is. So as we kind of near the end here, now we're gonna get into the little things like the headlights. Now, of course, I only have crappy plastic ones from the parts car. This one I have defogged a little bit. This one we still need to go, if you guys could maybe see the difference there. So we're gonna defog this really quick. I'm just kind of bringing you guys through every step along the way here. Some baking soda, some water is how we're gonna start. And then we're gonna move over to some Meguiar's compound. I don't know what's, the best, or I don't know. I'm just kind of doing, I heard that this works, so we're just gonna kind of see. And now we're gonna come over to the compound. Boom. That is a nice headlight. Actually probably did better than on the other one. All right, so we got clear corners because it's all I have because one of the other ambers is broken. Oh yeah, okay. That's the headlight. Okay, let's see if the light works. Please tell me it's working. Ah, very nice. Okay, low beam works. High beam. Beautiful. You can see right there, that is our broken clamshell bolt, I guess you will, which is why our wheel is cambered basically outward, completely messed up. So we're gonna go ahead and replace that shock. My replacement shock was for a non-M, so it's not gonna work. In sense of wanting to get this done for Christmas tomorrow, I just basically hammered in and tightened it. Even though the clamshell kind of ripped, you could still get it in there and tighten it. And it's not optimal, but I think it's safe enough to drive. You can see here I have no tires. I gotta get tires for this anyway, and then I'll probably buy front new struts. I literally just wanna get this on the ground as a whole car to show you guys. So we'll worry about all this later, but we did get it back in place. We have our new DS2 on there, so we got a full set of wheels again. Now is gonna be the moment of truth. Let's lower this thing, and hopefully the alignment is, normal. Ah, look at that, our wheels are in the fenders again. That looks perfect. So all right, we're good there for now, temporary. We're gonna pop this skirt in, get our trim on, and then all we have left is a front bumper, and we're grooving. Oh, how exciting. And last but not least, time to get this bumper on. Let's see how this goes. This might not go well. Ah. Okay. We gotta bleed our cooling system really quickly. Fill it till it comes out of the breather. Fit our bleeder back on. All right, heat on full blast. I'll be back in a little bit once we're at operating temp and holding. And there we have a completed Estoril Blue E36 M3. Back in one piece. I want to say back in one color, but to be honest, the paint match is not great on this car. As I mentioned earlier, the car itself was resprayed. The body panels that I'm replacing were resprayed. You can only imagine parts that are resprayed at various points in the country, at various points in time, probably aren't gonna match, but there we have it. Just want to show you guys that you can fix your E36 M3 at home with no special tools. A tree, hammer, some tools, sockets, all that stuff, and some persistence and the motivation to get it done, and you can do it as well. As I said at the beginning of the video, nothing I did here was by the book or correct, or I would recommend doing it. Do this sort of stuff at your own risk because, when the car is crashed, it's never the same again. So I drove it here, so obviously it drives, but I do need to check out the driver's side suspension. There is a bit of a alignment problem, and I hope it's not related to the accident and a frame thing. I mean, the frame rails are there, the subframe's there. I don't know why there would be an issue on that side. This is the side that the suspension was damaged on, and this side looks totally fine. So I'm a little weary. That's a story for another day. I don't want to let it dampen our mood and how excited I am that we have a complete Estoril. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed making it. I enjoyed reviving this car. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one, and I hope you all had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.